Hey guys, what's going on? We've got another video here. Not much time, just a quick lunchtime sesh. Trying to get those one video in a day. Hopefully, help me get a lot better at doing it. See where it goes really. Even if nobody's watching. I mean, ideally, you'd like to get that view count up, but yeah, I think if it's like with anything, really, isn't it? You just keep practicing, keep having a go at it, and then just see where you end up. I'm sure a lot of people look back at when they first started doing their videos, and they'll be like, "Oh, geez, no, that was me. Ugh, it's cringe." And to be honest, I really feel like that now on these videos. So God knows what we're going to think in the future. Probably just have to be a big old bulk delete job, put it down to some kind of crazy phase. Usually go through that in your teens or whatever. But your boy is doing a bit late there and stuff. I think this video was going to be more about just listening to yourself and a bit of, I guess, life tips or things I've come across in my life and stuff, like that I think is kind of useful to share, just because in everyday life you kind of, I don't know, you kind of see like people might have forgot perhaps this aspect and stuff, and it's kind of about like, and I have touched upon it before, I think, in the previous video and stuff, and that was relating to kind of like trusting yourself. And there was I'm not really one for quotes that much, and which is quite apparent when I say this, is that I think when I was like 16, 17, I read a book. It was about like Bruce Lee, and there was a quote in there, not actually from Bruce Lee, but he was quoting someone else, and I can't remember who it was, and I can't remember the exact quote, so I can't even quote it. But what I can say is I can paraphrase it and give the gist in this light-filled arena. Looking like from the planet here. Yeah, so the quote was basically saying, "Do not deny the classical approach, as you will fall into the same trappings as the people who follow the classical approach." If that rings a bell with anyone, they'll be like, "Oh man, that really wasn't it at all." But I'm pretty sure that the meaning of it was, don't just disregard something because it is just the way that everyone else feels, or it's just opposite to the way you think. Otherwise, you'll be kind of like as closed-minded as the people that you're sort of disagreeing with and stuff. And I think that goes a long way in terms of like, people might try and give you like advice and stuff, and they might not always know more than you for sure. But I mean, there's no harm in listening to others, even if it's just to almost like reinforce your own points and your own beliefs and stuff. And this is the point. I'm gonna tie into like training a little bit here, actually, because I did see a video on YouTube and stuff where someone was kind of making the same point, and that was that you're going to get the most benefit out of the thing that suits you most. So, for example, and stuff, like someone might say, "Oh, squat, it's the king of all exercises. Can't get better, for leg growth. The amount of GH release is, it's gonna impact your whole physique. Yeah, it's the only way to go. If you're not doing that, then you're wasting your time and stuff. Like, you can't get a good physique without it." And it's just like, well, low balls, really. Don't get me wrong. It's a great exercise, but if you can't execute it correctly, I mean, we're not even talking injury here and stuff, but if you can't execute it correctly, be it like your biomechanics are a bit whack, you've neglected flexibility for an extremely long time, and like perhaps those levers just don't offer well. perhaps you've had a previous injury, who knows? That would be the obvious one. But for whatever reason it is, you might get on better with, say, hack squat, leg press, and any other sort of like leg driven things. And for you, if you can't do that squat better, then that's not going to be the best exercise for you and for your legs. And I think you can really take that example and apply it to a lot of things and stuff. Another one, I guess, broad brush example would be university, for example, and stuff. Like, just because you can't say like, oh, university is the best path, for absolutely everybody, especially if you've got like a lot of just raw skills. If you can go in and get perhaps like certificates and just other types of forms of training and stuff, like or if you're a good enough spark to be able to just start up that entrepreneurship, then there's no reason why that then isn't your best path and stuff. In the same way that while people might say that the squat was was the best and stuff, is actually what's best for you, and no one else can I think that's where I'm leading this on to. It's just like no one else can answer that for you and stuff. You're looking for that. When you're asking the question, and you are asking like, hey, what's best for me? But no one knows that better than you. And that doesn't mean like from the first day you're gonna know exactly. But by listening to all sides of arguments, of advice, and taking them in and not disregarding them, and occasionally through trial and error for yourself, you'll find that out, and then from there you can really focus your energies on the things which provide you with the most benefit. And again, that's it's something that can be applied in and outside of the gym, really. I must admit, like as I've got older, I don't feel like I've what's that word? It's thrown around a lot, but like the word motivation and stuff. Like I don't know whether it's as high as it possibly was for me 8 or 10 years ago. But what I would say is that I've through my workings and years training, I've developed a pattern, and I know what works and what doesn't work for me. And that's not that's as unbiased as as I've tried to be. It's not just saying like, oh, that just doesn't work, or that doesn't work for me. It has been by giving it a go, by seeing what the proposed sort of benefits are of it. Sometimes giving it multiple goes. For example, like deadlifts and stuff. Like I've gone through phases where I've done them quite religiously, and then backed off from them as well. And it's not always going to be what was right for you once. You're dynamic. You're constantly changing and stuff. You're not always that formula isn't always going to be the same and stuff. So what once was great for you isn't always going to be the same method. But you've got to try and take out that time to evaluate. I think that's another key point and stuff. Like evaluate, like maybe again, like when you were younger, or maybe you're young now, that you had a favorite exercise and it worked out, and it worked out really well for you, and then you go back to it and you try it again, and for some reason it could be anything, but it's not quite going as the way you think it should and stuff. Like obviously you can analyze the reasons why you think why, but it's also useful to evaluate okay, if it's not going to go that, that way that I want it to, what can I do to get that same result, or a better result? And let's just link it into this whole year, actually. I mean, I imagine there's a lot of people's plans, who had set up to do certain things. It could have been as small as something like holidays, or perhaps even like moving to a house, moving to a new job. And that's probably just been like totally derailed in some circumstances and stuff. Like people were very much limited to staying in your home and stuff. Like if we tie it back in again to the gym and stuff, like some people just completely freaked out, either sort of like just gave up and stuff, like, and it was difficult, training from home. Some people just tried to replicate exactly what they had in the gym, for example, going out and spending loads and loads of money on equipment. And while part of me can kind of understand that and stuff, like no one wants to see any loss of gains and stuff. And I mean, obviously, if you're competition level, then I can definitely appreciate that. But on the other side of things, like, you have to be able to have that, I don't know, the strength and the mindset to be able to see that your situation has changed, and rather than desperately try and grip on and hold on to something which you don't, or is out of your control now, or you currently like don't have, it's better for you to actually come to realize what you're actually working with now, and put your efforts in to try and making the situation that you have now as good as it actually can be. And I think that's a lot better, a lot healthier practice to be doing that, rather than just trying to grip on something that you don't really have. Anyway, that was all over the place. Again, nothing written down, just using these sort of like 10-15 minute blocks to just get some videos together, get like a base, and see kind of where I want to take these things and stuff. Like as I do them, I kind of get a bit more ideas in my head of what I want it to be like. I'm not going to bother like adding any kind of like graphics or intros, outros, or anything like that. Not yet, not until, again, I kind of want these videos to kind of pan out and stuff. And obviously I can, as cringy as it will be, just watching them back and stuff, see where I'm flopping hard. And things are just getting messed up, and just see what, how I could do things better. And again, it's kind of like, tie it back into life as we're going to, we're going to do that. In that, it's it might not be, these videos are definitely like in my head. It's nowhere near what I want it to be like, what I want it to sound like, and the message is all blurred, and it's not very clear and concise and stuff. I mean, that's just how I talk and just how it comes out from me. But I'm really hoping that through this, I mean, this is kind of, it's a bit of work, and through this work, I'll get it so it, we'll work on it. So everything's a bit better and stuff. But I think that was something that, I mean, I don't think it's uncommon just to me, but you want to do everything perfect like first time, and sometimes that puts you off from even starting it in the beginning, because you're like, oh, it's not going to be any good. It's going to be rubbish, And chances are, what, maybe it will be. But if everyone thought like that, no one would ever do anything. So yeah, let's leave it there. I'm going to go back into the shadows, because obviously I'm hanging out too much here on the light in the in the holy light. All right, cheers. Thank you. Have a good lunch. Peace out.